Another week in the books. Who's rising? Who's falling? It's time for this week's Power Rankings with Tiki and Tierney. Number 10.
All right, I've got the Brooklyn Nets here. I've got the Brooklyn Nets who made a big splash. You know, Jay-Z, even though he only owned 1%, he was the front man, which was actually very smart. Mikhail Prokhorov, who pretty much is in Russia 90% of the time, really very rarely checks in on this team. The Nets, they've got no first-round picks. The building's empty. The Knicks are rolling. I think the Nets are a team that are going to be really hemorrhaging money for a while, and I don't see a short-term fix. I don't know why they moved there in the first place, so I'm going to say the Nets.
I have number 10. It's also a New York team. It's your Jets. Get the heck out of my stadium, BT. Go relocate somewhere else so we can put the Giants logos and the colors back on Giants Stadium, not MetLife Stadium. That's facetious, but hey, it works.
Yeah.
Number 9.
I've got the Miami Marlins. You know, the stadium, and I know it's new. I think it's grotesque. I mean, unless you were taking acid in the 70s, then you might think it's a pretty good look, because that's what it looks like. But every time they sign, you know, players, I mean, the ridiculous contract they gave Stanton, it's just a very transient fan base that day-to-day it lacks the passion, no disrespect. I think for long-term sustainability, the Marlins, I don't see it working out. Number 9 for
Number
me.
9, I kind of have another facetious one. The L.A. Clippers. What? Why the Clippers? Because they're sharing a stadium also with the Los Angeles Lakers. And look, now the
This guy's
Clippers.
got sharing issues. Would you share with Rondé too much?
Yeah,
up?
way too much. It's like it gives me agita. It makes me twitch and stuff. I got to share like pants and underwear and all that good stuff. Just kidding.
Hopefully you got him first.
But anyways, the Clippers are actually becoming a good squad right now, and they have been for the last couple of years. Go somewhere that the fan base is going to embrace you, like Seattle. Come on, Clippers, relocate.
Number 8.
You beat me to it because Seattle is a team that needs a team. So this is my little wild card on the list here. You know, listen, I mean, whether it's Sean Kemp, whether it's Gary Payton, whether it's Detlef Schrempf, whether it's, the great Lenny Wilkins, a team that won a championship in the late 70s, Gus Williams. I mean, Seattle's history in basketball lineage is incredibly lengthy. They deserve a team. I mean, we could do an hour on this, and I would probably enjoy the conversation. Seattle, give a team back. Yeah. It's ridiculous they don't have one.
Yeah, I'm going to go number 8, the Florida Panthers. Now, Vinny Viola, the owner, is saying he's never going to leave. He likes South Florida, but it just doesn't match.
If you gave me 10 guesses as to who Vinny Viola was, I would have started with Frank Viola's son, the former pitcher.
He owns a team. They haven't.
Wrong.
It doesn't fit to me to have a hockey team in South Florida. So move, Panthers.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah.
Number 7.
I've got, in that part of the country, the Orlando Magic.
Really?
And I like their roster. They had a couple of good young pieces there, no doubt. But what worries me about Orlando, every time they get a star that truly transcends the game, whether it was Shaq, he bounces, Dwight Howard, and say what you will about Dwight, but Dwight 5 years ago was incredibly intriguing. He bounces. Penny Hardaway. It just seems like Amway's a pretty good arena. I was at the O-Arena, the old one. I have not been to the new one, but I've heard it's very good. But it just seems like that's a tough market, again, for long-term sustainability. All the players, the great ones, tend to leave.
Yeah. For me, I'm going to go Jacksonville at number 7. It's not because I think it's not a viable market, because there's some industry down there. CSX is down there. There's about 850,000 people. The median income is actually good enough to sustain about $60,000 for a family, so it could work. But you're competing as an expansion team with the Florida Gators. And I don't think you're stealing that marketplace. It's the 29th TV market, so monetarily wise, it's not great for the National Football League. And I think most importantly, there's a big following should they want to go to London of the Jacksonville Jaguars. For whatever reason, the most popular team in London is the Jaguars.
Number 6.
Because really, they probably don't know what they're watching in London, although they're coming. The Jaguars are getting better. Number 6 for me, the Patriots. I think it's the only way my Jets will win a division title. So maybe the Patriots can relocate. They will be assigned a new division, then maybe we can win a divisional title.
I like that.
That applies for the Dolphins and Bills as well.
I like that. I got another team that's competing with a college environment, the Carolina Hurricanes. They won a championship in 05-06. But they're last in attendance, and it's really bad. You know why? Because they're in Raleigh, and that's Tobacco Road.
Hoop,
hockey
there it
season,
is.
Exactly. Hoop, there it is. You're never going to compete there. You want to stay in North Carolina, go somewhere else. You can't play hockey in Raleigh.
Number 5.
Let's mix it up. What do you got number 5 here?
I have the Milwaukee Bucks at number 5. Lots of talk about the Bucks moving, attendance-wise, monetary viability-wise. They're a team that will be good, I think, on the court in a couple years, but I think they need to get a new environment, and I think that's really the only team that the NBA is thinking about moving right now.
Wow. I mean, I know it's your list, but I would vehemently disagree with that. I think Milwaukee is a little more fertile than you position it, but I respect the list there. I'm going to go with the A's here, number 5. Mm-hmm. And I got to learn and know what A's fans are all about, and they don't have strength in numbers. They've got strength in awareness and certainly strength in passion. Again, we've had this discussion a million times with the Raiders and the A's. It is what it is. That stadium's horrific, and they've got some good players, man, but I just don't see how they function out there. They're slowly dying, it's sad.
Number 4.
I'm going to go with the New York Islanders here. You know, the other tenant in the Barclays Center just has not worked out very well. Brooklyn Islanders, they took the one thing which was incredibly regional because it's just a little tiny part of New York, Long Island, for those who aren't aware. Think about the Hamptons.
Yeah.
Just, not far from there, an hour or so, maybe a little more. But nobody really cares. I mean, Brooklyn now is all about the hipsters. It's changed incredibly. And they got one of the best players in the game in Tavares, who could put, 3 goals in the net any night he plays. I mean, it's just, I don't see it working out. Isles, number 4.
For me, 4. I got the A's like you had at number 5. The stadium is just too bad. They got to go somewhere else. Even if they stay in the vicinity, they got to relocate.
Number 3.
I'm going to save that thought for after. I'm going to jot that down. Something about the okay. Number 3. I've got the Tampa Rays here. Partly about the stadium. The Trop is, I wouldn't say dilapidated. It's actually okay. If you've been there, it's okay. I think it gets a little bit of a bad rap. It's not the worst place to watch a game. But the market is tough because, again, there's so many people who go there to retire. Well, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. Your brother's down there in Tampa. So it just seems like 81 nights a year. Can you get 25, 28, 29,000? No, unless the Red Sox roll in and Bostonians follow them, or the Yankees roll in and the New Yorkers follow them. So to me, the Rays have logistical issues that they cannot overcome. Big problem.
I have the Pistons here, and this one's
What?
hard.
Whoa, you're out of your mind.
The place is it's tough for the Pistons to draw, and it's a money thing. It's a money thing. You build something new, maybe they put some more money into it. Stay in Detroit. You got to leave where you are. Go somewhere new that makes people excited to go to the basketball arena again.
Wow.
Number 2.
As I react that way, it's a shot on 75. It's north of the city. It's a little out of the way. There's a couple of bars across the street. It's not the most happening area. I don't know. Do you go back down Detroit? They used to play, I think that's Cabo Arena back in the day. Maybe it's not as foolish. Interesting. Pistons. Wow.
I have the Rays, by the way, at number 2. Just to get on number 2. Just to get to number 2, the Rays. Because you're right. The Dome is terrible. Their attendance, 45% of the bat. I mean, it's
12,000 people every night, and that's generous.
Exactly.
That's giving away tickets to the Boy Scouts.
Exactly.
It's not working.
You're right. My brother used to go to some of those games. I'd be like, dude, where do you sit?
Wherever I want.
Wherever I want. It's exactly
and not because I'm Rondé Barber.
That's exactly
because there's nobody else vying for the seat that I want to sit in.
Wherever I want.
Oh, I got number 2 from, my bad, I think I may have messed that up. Number 2, Jaguars, for all the reasons Tiki stated. By the way, the further it up on the Rays and teams like the A's and the Rays, when you can't keep a free agent like a Price, like some of these stars, I mean, isn't that enough reason to kind of say, hey, something's a little bit awry here in terms of the financial, it's just not equitable with other teams. But, yeah, I got the Jaguars, number 2.
Number 1.
What do you got?
The Raiders.
What do you got?
You got the Raiders.
You got Raiders 1?
You got to go Raiders. They are literally a team without a home right now. They have to relocate. They got to go somewhere.
You know who
and technically, they're not.
Who was your 10th team?
My 10th team was the Jets.
Guess who my first team is?
Yes, who?
The Jets. I want a team in New York.
Great
I
point.
want a team in New York.
Great point.
You could keep that dump. I hate MetLife. Just like the Meadowlands was actually okay, even though it was Giant Stadium. And there's the problem with bringing the Jets to New York, and this is never going to happen because they actually had the chance and it expired. There's no fertile ground. There's no real estate. There's the West Side Project.
The only place now is the Hudson Rail Yards, and the owner of the Miami Dolphins owns that property.
That's right.
So there is definitely not a Jet and certainly a division rival going on his property.
But in theory, I'd like to see the Jets in New York.
That was this week's Power Rankings.